The ink was the problem. In the dim, parchment-cluttered workshop, Leo could not make it obey. It pooled, it bled, it refused to capture the crisp, terrifying line he needed to draw. The line was the new wall. For 6 weeks, the sound had been the constant companion to his work. The distant, relentless tap-tap-tap of stone masons and the groan of timber. Emperor Constantine XI was fortifying the land walls of Theodosius, the great defensive belt that had kept the city safe for 1,000 years. They were building a new outer wall, a new ditch. Leo's task, as one of the few skilled cartographers left in a city leaking people like a sieve, was to update the official maps for the military commanders. He leaned back, his spine cracking, and looked at his current work. Constantinople sprawled across the vellum, a triangle of civilization clutching the edge of the continent. To the east, across the narrow strait of the Bosphorus, he had shaded in the hills of Anatolia with a subtle, smoky gray. It was no longer just land. It was his land. The land of the Ottoman Sultan, Mehmed II. A sharp knock at the door. Before Leo could answer, it opened. A man stood silhouetted against the white glare of the afternoon, his clothes dusty from the road. He was not Greek. His tunic was of a Frankish cut, his beard trimmed short in the Italian style. "Leonidas the cartographer?" the man asked in accented Greek. "I am he. I am Marco di Conti. I come from Venice by way of longer roads." The man stepped in, his eyes scanning the walls hung with maps of the world as Ptolemy knew it, of the Mediterranean, of the Black Sea. His gaze was hungry. "I am told you are the best, that you make maps not just of places, but of possibilities." Leo felt a chill. "I make maps for the emperor. Who told you this?" Marco smiled, a thin, weary thing. "A mutual friend, a man who owed a debt to both of us." He pulled a small, cloth-wrapped bundle from his satchel and placed it on the table, pushing aside a sheaf of star charts. "He said if I ever needed to understand the lay of a land, or the disposition of a man, to find you. He said you remember your debts." The chill congealed into a hard, cold stone in Leo's stomach. He knew before Marco unwrapped it. The cloth fell away to reveal a book. Not a printed book, but a codex, its leather cover worn soft. Embossed upon it was a symbol, a stylized eye over a mountain, the symbol of the Karamanid Emirate, a rival Turkish state now swallowed by the Ottomans. Leo's hand trembled as he reached out. He opened the cover. The pages were filled not with text, but with maps. Exquisite, impossible maps. Maps of passes through the Taurus Mountains known only to goat herds and rebels. Maps of hidden springs, of defensible caves, of caravan routes that avoided Ottoman toll stations. It was a book of secrets. His book. "Where did you get this?" Leo's voice was a whisper. "From the man you gave it to 10 years ago, Emir Turgut, my business partner." Marco's voice dropped. "He is dead. Captured by Mehmed's men near Angora. They executed him. But before he was taken, he entrusted this to a servant who got it to me. He said, 'If I fall, take this to the Greek in Constantinople. He will know what to do. He owes me a life.'" The memory was a physical blow. 1442. Leo, a young scholar, part of a trade delegation to Karaman. Caught in a petty border skirmish, captured by bandits. Turgut, a young emir's son, not yet a rebel, had intervened. He hadn't had to. It was an act of sheer, inexplicable chivalry. In gratitude, and in the long nights of conversation that followed about stars and geography and the shape of the world, Leo had made the book. A gift. A token. A map to freedom for a man who valued knowledge. He had never considered it a weapon. Now, lying in his Constantinople workshop, with the sound of the walls being built against the very empire that had killed Turgut, It looked like the most dangerous weapon in the world. "What do you want?" Leo asked. Marco leaned forward, his finger stabbing down onto Leo's half-finished map of the city. Not at the walls, but at the water. The Golden Horn. The city's vulnerable northern flank, protected by a great chain. "Mehmed is coming, not next year. This year. He is building a fortress on the Bosphorus to cut you off from the Black Sea. He is casting cannons so large they say they can shatter the walls of Babylon." Marco's eyes were fierce. "Constantinople will fall. It is not a question of if, but when. The only question is what happens after." "You speak treason in the very heart of the city," Leo said, but there was no heat in it. He heard the truth in Marco's words every day in the anxious whispers of the market, in the desperate prayers from the Hagia Sophia. "I speak survival," Marco countered. "Venice will come, but too late. The Genoese in Galata will waver. The emperor is brave, but he has maybe 7,000 soldiers. Mehmed has 10 times that. This city